What's up, guys? Welcome back to Boost Brothers Garage. In this episode, we are tearing into the front suspension of the MK5 GTI. We've got some Whiteline control arm bushings, we've got new ball joints, we've got coilovers from Forge. Should be fun. Stay tuned.
We're going to start by pulling the front bushing, then we'll pull the rear bushing, and then we'll start the reinstallation. So Whiteline, they have come up with this, and it's actually kind of neat. I kind of like what they did here. What they've got is they've got a really hard polyurethane bushing, and then they also have an inside bushing. This bushing, as you can see, is hex keyed. It locks to the original hex on the control arm, and it actually wants it to move on the inside. Now, they also come with a softer bushing that is black. This is the matching polyurethane to this, but the red is the harder version, and because this car is not going to be driven on the street much, I don't care about extra noise or road noise coming into the car, or the added stiffness. So, therefore, harder bushing. Boom, like that, okay. And it goes on there like that. And you can tell the bushing is able to turn rather nicely. Very stiff.
These other bushings are extremely simple. Once again, these are the poly bushings from Whiteline. So we're going to take the lubricant and we're going to lube the inside of the control arm. Sandwich them in. And then we've got to take the pin and drive it through. It'll go most of the way through by itself, but it doesn't go all the way in, so you'll have to use a clamp to get it the rest of the way. That's our Whiteline bushings installed. We'll just have to put some new ball joints on here. We can get it bolted to the car, and then we can start putting our coilovers on.
There you have it. Ball joint, control arm, it's all ready to go. Now, the old ratty steering knuckle. Yes, I am going to leave it on here, and yes, it is going to stay rusty.
Hey, but we're going to put new hubs on it.
It will get new hubs. They'll be shiny for a couple days until they get outside, and then they'll turn rusty too. This is the Forge Motorsport Coilover. It's actually quite a genius little design for a few different reasons. It does come with camber plate. The camber plates on the top from factory. You don't have to order them separate or anything like that. It's just how they're made. And then they do have adjustable camber as well as adjustable dampening. One of the things that Mike noticed right away was the fact that you can adjust the sleeve itself to the body instead of just adjusting your spring for ride height. And the reason for that is really suspension geometry and preload on the spring. You don't have to change that. So it's really just a nice feature.
We've ran into what could be considered a small problem. The camber plates on top of the coilovers, in order to allow adjustability of either the camber or the dampening, it looks like we're gonna have to cut out the top of the original strut mount.
I think it's gonna have to happen. You want to see?
It's gonna have to? Yeah, let's take a look.
Come in and take a look at it.
So as you can see, that plate has a hole that's just big enough to more or less thread the old strut in, but it doesn't give you anything in the leeway of this way, which is the direction that the strut's going to adjust for camber. All right, here you can see the old one would have been centered here, and that would be sticking up right here in the center, kind of like this. But I've adjusted it for full negative camber. So that big plate on the top is going to get in the way. Also, this is my adjustment for dampening, and that's not going to work either.
So Thomas, what are we gonna do?
We're going to cut that damn thing out on the top there. I did get the tops of these things cut off. So look inside of my, please excuse my nasty engine bay, but you can see the top of the strut, which was here, used to have an enclosure on it, all but a little hole right there. Those are now gone, and the other side as well.
Here's what we're looking at now that we got the coilovers poked up through and hanging. You can see we now have access to our dampening adjustments as well as our camber adjustments. We're just mocking this up right now. We'll still have to go back through and clean all this up and paint it and everything. But at least we now have full functionality. We have the coilovers ready to go the rest of the way on. We did some measuring and we came up with an 18-inch overall length from the top to the bottom of the coilover, assuming that we're going to get about 1 inch of compression from the spring. We're looking at like 13.5 inches from the fender to the center line of the hub. So with a 26-inch tall tire, that should be a good starting point, and then we'll have adjustability up and down from there. It looks like at least 1.5 inches adjustability both ways, so we're going to be in good shape. We're going to take the jack and we're going to go ahead and push the control arm up so we can push the strut into the spindle itself, the clamp housing, and yeah, we'll have this thing done getting mocked up. You want me to try to pry?
All right. There you have it. It's in. The steering is working good. Yeah, I'm pretty thrilled. These struts are really, really good quality. If anybody's in a Mark 5 or a Mark 6 and you're looking for a high quality set of coilovers, these Forged Motorsports are a great quality for the buy. They were about, I think, $1,200, and in my opinion, that's actually really good for the quality you get. I know that other people would like to run, I don't know, probably KW or something along those lines. But for me, as often I'm going to replace these because I do track the car quite a bit. I was not going to spend the $2,000 and $3,000 for a set of coilovers. I'm just not going to get, I'm not racing competitively, and I'm also not driving on the street, so I don't need the soft dampening. So I'm okay with them being extremely firm. It's been the biggest complaint about them, which in my opinion is a huge plus. And I'm really looking forward to seeing how they ride.
That's that, guys. Another GTI video in the books. We are hot and heavy on this thing right now. Still a lot of work to do. Thomas has a very tight deadline for getting this thing done for the first track event of the year. So we're gonna be busting our ass and you'll be seeing more of it. So thanks for watching, guys. See you soon.